Hello YouTube and welcome back to old Flads. This is Ace of Spades and this is the custom map review episode 2. Now today's map needs too little, no introduction. It is of course the classic Pinpoint. This particular version was made by Viswix, but the original, if I've got my history right, was made by Izzy and it was originally designed for CTF. And the design is as basic as it comes, and yet at the same time that's the beauty, the entire beauty of this map. You have nothing apart from 3 points at each end, which are the crate drops. The rest of it is completely open. You've got to get from one end to the other as quickly as you can, get the gear and get back. Now I will be honest, I've only played this particular map in TDM on 0.76 with the Grandmaster, so I haven't actually seen it in its classic CTF, well, it's in its CTF guise, but nonetheless this map is very important, especially as it's now been released on 1.0, because once I get into the scores you're going to see what I'm going to score it, but let's just go through some basic things about this map. Okay, so like I said, firstly, very simple. Secondly, there is a very definite choke point. Now, I think when I played this in 0.76, the water was actually poisonous. And I think the idea of the water being poisonous was you had pretty much no choice but to come through here, through this choke point, or risk getting damaged in the water. I believe. I think that's what it is. And that makes a lot of sense. Because obviously, on this map, you could just run right around the edge. And that's where this particular version in 1.0 probably falls down, because you can build on here. Of course, there's nothing to stop you building your new pathways, and that would be a good idea, to be honest, considering how small this map is. But it's something that the original map wanted you to come into this choke point, and it wanted you to be creative, and it wanted you to do something a little bit different to try and stop basically your entire team getting slaughtered. So what I saw from this entire map, I joined a TDM round probably about 15 minutes into what I think was a 30-minute round. Now there were some prefabs up in there which offered bunkers that had been made just to try and sort of ease it up's maybe a little bit of the wrong thing to say, but I mean there were obstacles like this, for example, and then you get a shovel and you'd knock a hole in the middle of it or whatever, and you would actually be able to look through, and then you'd shoot and then you'd move away. And with the different weapons, you had the shotgun, the normal rifle and the SMG in 0.76, it actually made for a very entertaining game mode. How this would work on this level, I'm not sure. What I would suggest though is that you would keep water, don't affect the water at all, because it needs to slow people down to try and drive in as much play as you can throughout the entire level. Now when I was playing on 0.76, pretty much all of the action came through this choke point. I believe the choke point was a little bit wider. Nonetheless, this is how the map is. So I was going to plan on making this as short as possible a video, because it doesn't need to say a lot. You come on this map, you need to be building from the word go, getting as much in there as you can. This is me quickly trying to bodge up something. You need to get this in, the rest of your team needs to get involved, and then from here you'd move forwards again as a team. It's a very team orientated map. I would suggest that if you're going to play it, you get ready to die a lot. There is a lot of deaths happening on this map, and it makes for some really fun and fast-paced action. Okay, so I don't know if there's a lot more that needs saying about this map. There's nothing really to look at. And that's why it's so brilliant. It's simple, yet it's incredibly effective as a map. So, for the scores, aesthetics. Okay, it's gonna get like a 1 for aesthetics. But then again, there are some artists that paint very small, minimalistic stuff that sell for millions of pounds. So, I'm gonna actually give it, because it is quite beautiful in its design, I'm going to give it a 5. Okay, I think that's probably fair. Creativity again, it seems like a very basic map. Now, the fact that this has been reproduced means that the creativity is obviously not quite as high as it should be. So I'm actually going to give it a 2 for creativity, because it's already been made. It just looks great. So we're up to 7 so far. Usage of map. Well, you could use a lot of the map, and I would actually suggest using a lot of the map, but you probably won't use a lot of the map. So I'm going to give that 2 as well. So we're up to 9. It's not going so well. Game modes. This would suit pretty much CTF and, well, I suppose you could probably get things like, I don't know, CTF and TDM. They'd probably be the best options for it. So I'm going to give it a 2 for that. So we're up to 11. Longevity. Okay, so this level has already stood the test of time. Okay, so it's not going anywhere. It's going to be here to stay. People are going to love playing this map because of its intensity, and it's a phenomenal work of art as a small, basic yet brilliant map. So it's definitely getting a 10 out of 10. People are going to be playing this forever. So that takes up to 22 out of 50. It's not a great score. You have to get round the fact that it's not really about my score for this map. This map is a classic. It's proven. It drives incredibly good action. It asks you, it demands you to do some incredibly good building, and it is a ton of fun. You really need to get involved with this map as soon as you get access to the workshop. Get in there, get playing the games. It's so much fun. Thank you very much for watching. I apologise for the low score. I did say that if you had any issues with my scoring, that suggestions for how you score this map would be, or any map in general, would be greatly received, just so I can improve how the reviews are done. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I've been on Flads. Cheers and goodbye.